we got a special guest in the building tonight. It's 360. It's Monday night. It's August. It's finally not the face of the sun here in Sacramento. It's like 93, so that's smooth sailing breezy for us because it's been like 113 here, I think. What? Yeah, it was like 115 last week. In my car, it said 118. And I'm like, my brain is just gonna fucking boil. You know, like I'm waiting for my Crocs to like melt into the cement. Shouldn't be wearing them anyway, but that's a sign, right? But right now we are sitting down with the legendary One Drop Scott. And I've been hearing about you, been getting told, you need to interview Scott, One Drop. And I'm like, I got you. So you're here now, 360 Radio, welcome. Let the people know who you are and where you're from.
Well, I'm One Drop Scott.
So the One Drop, Scott, for anyone that doesn't know out there, what do you do musically? What do you do? I know you play drums.
Well, I played drums until I got hurt.
Okay.
I played every instrument until I got hurt.
Okay.
But now I produce with one hand.
Wow. So that's where the one comes from?
No, One Drop comes from me playing the reggae rhythm.
Oh, the rhythmic One Drop.
Yeah,
I understand.
It's a rhythm. You know, it's a basic old school reggae rhythm.
Okay, so that's kind of where your roots come from, as far as what you like to listen to and what inspired you to make your sounds like the way they were.
Actually, no, my roots come from all styles of music because my stepfather had every kind of. He had like Mongo Santa Maria, he had the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Simon and Garfunkel, Richie Havens, Spinners. He had everything.
That's so many like.
And he had the best sound system that you can buy.
So it's sounding good.
Yeah, so I would get home, first thing I do, and he had some conga drums too. So I get home, put on some music with the headphones and start playing along with the conga drums.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So it's a young age, is a talent that comes at a young age.
My natural father, Thalmus Rasulullah, very, very, very famous actor. You've seen him in a lot of movies. He was an opera singer.
Really? I just want to, give you your kudos because a lot of people don't give their parents the props like they deserve, and I really heard that from you.
Oh well, my parents and my wife, because she held me down. When I wasn't
shout it out, ladies.
Yeah, when I wasn't making any money, she held it down and always had my back.
Yeah, I've definitely done that for a few people, but that's in the old days. Now it's just I'm gonna hold myself down.
Yeah, you better.
Eventually. Maybe, but this interview, this radio room is actually the old 103.5 radio building.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of spirits of really, talented artists that have been here and sat in this room. So I like to tell people that because the vibe is real in here. Yeah. And then the prior building we were in was also the Bomb. It was our other hip hop station before they moved as well. So we're very blessed to be able to be in here. DJ Justin Z on the wheels tonight. I hear you, JDZ. Peter on the camera. We got JG from Eargasm. How do you know this guy?
Well, I met JG when I moved to Chico, and I was working with this company called 420 Records.
Oh, I know about Chico. I'm from Redding.
Okay,
so,
hot.
Yeah,
so
that's where my dad manages in Redding. So, and he was a city official, so you can only imagine I left there as soon as I graduated high school. I was like, I'm not getting chased down by the cops anymore. Nope. Because they love to watch out for him. They'd be like, she's doing this, she's doing that. I'm like, I'm going to Sacramento. So that's how I ended up here. But Chico was definitely a party town for us in the interim, between the colleges and all the bars and stuff. So
yeah, well, JG, I met him, I guess when he was a freshman or
college.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was teaching him. Now he's teaching me.
Yeah, that's the way the game goes.
That's how it's supposed to go.
Well, you gave him all the game, and now he's just teaching you the new.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. JG's a good guy. He's been in here with me many times, and he's also a very big Mick advocate for my radio program. So I appreciate you, Eargasm Music. Y'all are in here all the time. I try to interview 3 people a week. I've been doing this about 15 years, so I have a lot of interviews under my belt. So I want to thank you for stepping into this spaceship tonight.
I really appreciate being here.
So we want to talk about your inception into the Bay Area sound, because I know you came from LA to the Bay. And then how did you get involved with producing for some of these major artists out here in the Bay Area? What started that?
Well, you know, I had this one group called the Surf MCs.
Surf MCs.
Yeah, and
okay.
We were on a record with Run DMC, and it was I rapped and I sang and played all the music on the album. We had a couple other guys rapping as well, and Tone Capone, I called Tone Capone because I wanted some. He was named at that time DJ Tony G.
Okay.
And so I called him up because I needed some. He was a dope ass DJ.
Scratching
his ass off, and so I met him through that. But I was already doing rap music. I had a group called the Freaky Executives.
Freaky Executives.
Yeah.
Sounds like some people I would know.
we won the Bammy back in '86.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
And had a song called "The Dancing Public." And basically, I came up with the concept, and my bandmate wrote all the lyrics after the hook.
Okay.
But I came up with it because I was doing this video with Sheila E.
Now,
and I was staying at the Holiday Inn on Sunset.
Oh, in LA.
And I looked out the window. I saw this big ass crowd, and I was like, "Man, what's going on down there?" So I went over there. They were breakdancing.
Oh yeah.
And the next thing I knew, they were getting taken to jail.
Oh yeah.
So I called my boy. I said, "Man, we need to write a song about this shit right here."
Right now. Right
now. We did a lot of that stuff on analog. Quarter-inch analog, 16 track.
So and I'm sure producers nowadays, like, do you guys still? Is it still the same? Would they understand what that meant? Was it an older way of doing production? Have things changed, like in production?
Completely.
Yeah, that's what I assume.
Yeah.
Maybe is that why it doesn't sound the same? Because it doesn't really sound the same.
Well, yeah, it's thinner. You know, analog, you have to smash it onto the tape, and it's like alive on the tape.
Right.
So.
And now it's more into it goes into the computer, and then it spits itself back out. Yeah. I think that's I would love to get into that.
A lot of numbers.
That's gonna be a cool conversation for one day. But I mean, some of the bigger producers that I've sat with, like Big Draws from 211, he's taken me to some of those bigger studios in the Bay Area, and I've never seen boards that fucking big, you know. But I applaud you guys because it's come so far, and you guys made it sound good with half of the resources that you have today, maybe even a third.
Right.
So I think that's a really big talent. So you should give him some flowers, you know. Like, nobody really understands how much it takes to make a song sound the way that it should. And I think a lot of music now is getting put out and it's not finished.
Well, you know, my thing is, back in every record that you see, any record that's on vinyl, all kinds of love went into that.
Right. Different.
So you think about it. The engineer had to love what he was doing to learn everything that he knew. The bass player had to spend hell hours to become good enough to go into a studio that cost $120
to lay a track
to be in.
Right.
So before you even stepped into the studio, you had to practice your ass off.
Right.
Everyone had a lot of love for every song.
One of my co-arts here that does Top Shelf Radio, shout out to Henny Holyfield and Doe the Unknown, they have a skit that they do, and it's called Old School versus New School, and it's like two battle rappers, and one of them is a teenager from now, and one of them's like an OG battle rapper. That's the two players in this skit, and one is far too involved in it, the OG, you know, like taking it too seriously, and the teenager's like, I'm ready to go, you know, like he doesn't even want to be here. So it's like, it shows you the difference in how much you had to cultivate and put into it back in the old day. And it's like, even now, I do think young people do have a passion for music. I think it was a bit different back then. So let's step our game up, y'all. Let's get some of that OG energy into the rhymes. I would say that's what I'm missing, is that heart for it, you know.
Also, what I'm missing is the subject matter. You know, it's like, even Mac Dre, I don't really I mean, I love him because he's so funny, so clever.
Right.
But I'm not really into all the pimping and all that shit.
Right.
It
was more the wordplay. Yeah.
Wordplay.
Yeah.
And he was so good with that. He had to give it up.
Yeah.
And he was hella funny with this shit.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he's funny regardless.
Exactly.
So it just carried into his music.
Yeah.
You got Scando, the Dark Lord, turned in right now. He's a Vallejo artist. He sounds as much as Mac Dre of anyone I've listened to as of late. So he would love to work with you. So he typed that into the comments section.
DM a homie, bruh.
So I wanted to shout you out.
Follow him DM.
Yeah, he's definitely a clever artist. He's got some really cool wordplay too.
That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. That's what I need.
His whole MO is he's the Sith. He's Scando, the Dark Lord. So he's the dark versus the light. So he kind of bases it on Sith Lord from like Star Wars. And the whole thing just takes into its own stories. So really, really dope. Neff the Pharaoh's his brother. Really good guy. So make sure you tap in with Scando because I knew he would want to hear this interview today.
Cool.
What would you say was your favorite memory from working with Dre? And then we'll go into the Selly
Just having fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
Fun is the fucking key word there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. And that's all good studio sessions is when you're not taking it too seriously. It's like there's a fine line.
Right. Yeah, you have to be serious, but you have to have fun when you're doing what you're doing.
Gary Archer tuned in.
What's up, Gary?
On the live feed. So as far as, let's say, even some of your favorite songs that you've put out, what would be your favorite that you've produced for?
Mr. Trey 57.
Oh, Sibo. My guy, I've never interviewed Sibo. He's from our town, Sacramento.
Come on, Sibo.
I would love to have him. So, yeah, please do. Shout that out. I mean, I'm this close to X-rated right now, and I have been for years. So I just got to get the interview done. He's already invited me to come to Vegas to do it. I just need to get there. So I got to make that shit happen, right? Right. Yeah. And Marvelous's 30-year anniversary is this Friday at Harlow's, you guys.
Well, go ahead, Marvelous.
I'm going to be pulling up over there. So if anybody wants to go, it's going to be Harlow's Friday night, Marvelous 30-year anniversary in the game. So it's definitely, and she has a daughter that's rapping too out here.
Yeah, I heard
Little Marvelous.
Nice. Yeah.
Super dope. Yeah, very good at what she does. Let's go into one of the songs that you produced, and this is no stranger to anyone listens to my show, and it's no slouch. It's a banger. This is the Selly Cell going down tonight, and then we'll talk about that when we come back in from it. I just got to see him do this live at the Bay Area Bosses Tour, so for anybody that wants to meet Selly, watch him throw down. He has an amazing stage show. The whole crowd was going bazonkers. Let's run that in. DJ JDZ, 360 Radio, Connected Radio, legendary, classic California, iconic California sound. That Selly Cell going down tonight. If you needed to get that, you could. It's real chill in here, Scott. You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
It's a spaceship, all right? But that Selly Cell song pretty much lit the whole soundtrack of my 20 to 29 adult life. And I desperately tortured my parents during that time frame, too. I'm sorry, you guys.
Hey, well, let it be known that Tone Capone and myself did that song.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the studio process on that song? How did that come about? Can you recall the night or the day?
Yeah. E40 came through and he was like, man, we want to remake this song by Keith Sweat. And so my thing, I would listen to the music and start replaying stuff, and then we tweak it my own way.
Right. And then, Gary was saying, you actually played all these instruments, and you really did have the sound for, you believed in the Bay Area, along with having all this musical talent.
Yeah.
So that combined does lay down a soundtrack of dope hits,
absolutely
alone. Selly is definitely one of those guys. I've never been able to interview him, but his song definitely played out a lot of my youth. It was going down a lot at my house. It was going down every night. That's right.
It's going down today and tonight.
Vegas.
And tomorrow.
I mean, I used to smoke Vegas. When 11.5 was popping out there. Rest in peace to Mano. When 11.5 was popping, everybody liked Joe Vega. That shit was that's my era. Mm-hmm. For sure. So, kudos for making that. And I've heard that you're working with some new you have new music coming out, and you're working with some of the newer generation.
I love it. Yeah, I just did a couple of songs with La Russell.
Oh yeah, legendary guy.
La Russell, yeah.
La Russell is a legendary guy, and I had the opportunity to go to one of his backyard shows, and it was like no other experience I've ever had, ever. And I've been to so many concerts.
Now, I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Aaliyah Sharif, but
No.
she has a song right now that she's my main artist. That I
Okay.
love.
Are you like in that? Are you pushing them as far as? Did you find him? No.
I told Gary he might have went to the wrong side. He
Okay, so you're on the phone with Gary. Okay,
Gary.
okay. Sorry about that. So we're just trying. Everybody goes to the front, and the GPS leads them to the front, and they need to come to the back. But so your artist is almost like, are you going to do a label? Are you going to promote these people as far as like music label?
Well, Aaliyah Sharif, we're just doing our own thing. You know,
Okay.
we have our own website.
What kind of music does she do? What does it sound like? Is it rap?
It's rap.
It's
rap
rap.
and singing. Yeah.
Where's she from?
She's Sacramento.
So what? Why isn't she here? Bring her
Hit her
back.
up.
Yeah.
You want to hear her up right now? See if she answers the phone.
Next time you come, bring her.
I will.
Or even send her on your own. I would love to interview her.
Absolutely.
And I have a real admiration for artists that aren't necessarily broken yet. You know.
Well, you know, she has a song right now that's going to break. It's called "That's My Sis," and it's blowing up.
Oh wow.
It's got like millions of
I would
views.
love for you to send us that, and we can definitely slap that. And I would love to interview her as well. So
Okay.
congratulations to you, wherever you are. Next time he's going to bring you. As far as La Russell, when you got a chance to work with him, he has a very infectious energy, and his positivity, I find, leads to places that not a lot of people get to, because not everybody's thinking like that, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a big deal when making music, is your mindset and where you're at. So I'm sure y'all made some magic.
No, yeah, most definitely. And one thing that he did that most rappers don't even think about doing now, he shouted out my name before the song started.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
in the beginning,
Yeah, like
they used to do.
like
Right?
let them have it, one drop, Scott. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's how it should be done with all producers. I feel like there would be no song without production.
That's how it used to be, right? Now I keep getting. Well, it's like a cross stuck in my. Anyway, I'm kind of miffed about the whole.
Well, you're allowed to be, so talk about it.
Well, all right. So you know the history of hip hop or whatever.
Right.
50-year anniversary. Mm-hmm. How many producers did they talk about during that?
Right.
Now think about how hip hop was made. Everybody in the room together.
There would be no History of the Bay. There would be no song.
There would be no hip hop.
Yeah, there would be nothing.
Without the producers.
I agree with that, and I feel like we've got some really legendary ones out here, so I want to shout them out while I can. Q Made the Beat is right down the street, and he's definitely a legend in the game.
That's my guy.
Yeah, I love him. Hermanata is right down the street, and that's RBL's baby. You know, that's they birthed that creation. So there's some really dope production. Cosmo's like, I haven't even been able to touch Cosmo because he's so big. You know, like in the old days, I probably would have been able to get at him, but with Burner's success and his own success, it's like I haven't even attempted to interview him yet. So I would like to do that at some point in time. But
I'll hit him up. He's my good friend.
Please do, because I have a lot of respect and would love to talk to him. Jay and Tell at Amina Labs, you know, been doing this shit for 20 years, you know, so I think it's just very important. I would love for there to be a female producer that I could holla about like this, and I don't know that there is one yet. So if you know of any, let me know, because maybe
I wish
I'm
I did.
sleeping. Yeah.
There was one, but she passed away at a very young age.
Wow.
But she was nice.
Sounds like a need, you know. What was her name? You remember it?
Camille, I forgot her name.
Okay.
Yeah,
and then I met some cool producers down the Bay too, like Carter Boy. He works out of the Grill, the Grill Studios. There's just big draws. Like I said, I've sat in on a lot of sessions. Chess 650. He produced for Selsky, you know, in the early days.
Yeah.
So just having that connection to the old school hip hop and the new, for me, I feel like is the gap that needs to be bridged. And I think producers are the glue. So I really feel like y'all don't get enough credit.
Well, you know, I do appreciate that La Russell, you know, reached out to me and had me come through and do some stuff with him and shouted out my name, you know, on the track.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to put a tag. I don't put tags on
Right.
on
You can let them do that if they want. The artists,
Yeah.
Make it their choice.
Yeah.
Did you know that Juvenile just pulled up and did La Russell's Backyard Show this weekend? He has a new stage, so it was a really big deal that they were utilizing the new stage this weekend. And he always has surprise guests, and this time it was Juvenile, like back that ass up, Juvenile.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw
Pretty
the post.
dope. And then Richie Rich, poor Richie Rich, you know, he tried to get in on the game. We love Rich. Rich's like my old school friend, Double R. He fucked his knee up trying to get on the stage. And they thought he was just playing, like the music was going, everybody was in their zone, and Rich is on the stage like, I have a bone sticking out of my knee, but he still rapped his whole verse because that's how we do it, you know.
That's what you do.
Did you find him, Peter? Oh, great, thank you. So now I can talk without worrying because I always want to make sure my guests are comfortable. So Richie Rich, I feel like, is another person that molded this Bay Area sound. You know, we're going to talk about that Keek the Sneak, that 3 Times Crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like Rich is definitely one of the people that molded the Oakland sound. Chris Lockett as well. You know, like there's a lot of our artists in Oakland that don't necessarily get, or maybe they feel like feel like it's past when it happened in the past. Like Drew Down. Drew Down is he's a remarkable artist and performer, and he's got that funk shit in him too.
Yeah.
Yep. So like you were saying, you worked with Confunction, and touch on some of that background when you were working with Confunction. How did that come about? You were playing drums?
Well, yeah, I was playing percussion. Sheila E.
Had a great head of hair too, y'all. Go look at the videos.
Sheila E. was playing with Confunction at the time. And then
how did you meet Sheila?
I met Sheila. I was dating this girl named Esther Godinez, and her sister was playing with Coca Escobedo, and so she invited me to come see the show. That's when I met Sheila. I was playing. I had my own little group. I was like 14 at the time. I had a group called Salsa de Berkeley. And
like a namesake for your town.
Yeah. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I invited Sheila to come check us out at Provo Park.
Okay.
And she came through, and I said, "Man, get my number from Esther and hit me up."
Sheila's a baddie.
And I could not believe when she called me.
She's a baddie too. Yeah, I mean,
not as bad as my wife though.
Well, that's good to know. Much love to wifey. Absolutely. I'm sure if you wifed her, she is just as bad.
Please believe it.
If not badder. And I mean, you had with that head of hair and the drum skills, you had to be out there had to shake them off you. I'm sure back in the old days. So.
Yeah. I guess so.
I know the whole funk like movement there was a lot of fun shit going on those, either on stage, behind, after parties, all the shit, all the stuff. I think I got the best memory I have of all that old school was when my father brought Digital Underground and Cypress Hill to the Reading Auditorium, and I was maybe 13. And I got to meet Tupac before he was really Tupac. He was like a dancer. And then I was asking everybody, like, I met Humpty Hump, but I was like, when is Shock G coming? And they're like, he is Shock G. So I got to learn all that on my own, you know. Right. It was really cool. And I feel like that landed me where I am with this. I try to keep the culture alive.
Yeah,
and that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the 3 Times Crazy connection and the song. And did you do any more work with 3 Times, or was it the whole album? Was it just the song "Keep It on the Real"? Like, what did you do?
No, it was the whole album. I did a bunch of songs on the album by myself and with Tone Capone.
Okay, and Tone Capone, legendary name as well.
Yeah, 5 on it. And get this clear. I had nothing to do with 5 on it other than they came through and recorded some things at my house.
Let the record reflect.
People think that I didn't. I was Tone Capone.
Okay, well that's a legendary song too. I mean, even with Jordan Peele's movies now, like he put I Got 5 on it, the slowed version of it, and that shit took off all over again.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah.
I've been a fan of Yuckmouth for many years before when he was in Loonies and when he was solo.
Yeah.
I got to meet him when he was Godzilla. I remember saying his eyes weren't even open when I talked to him, but now, he was talking.
Yuckmouth, that boy, He's definitely a character, man.
My friend here, Corrine, she's got a really dope artist, her daughter, Deja Lanai. She said, that was my first concert seeing Sheila E., Prince, and the Jets back in '89 at the Circle Star.
Cool.
Yeah, that's a really dope concert. I mean, Prince alone is, there's no words, you know, for Prince.
My group got to open up for James Brown at the Circle Star.
Oh, come
I got to meet
on.
James Brown, yeah.
There wasn't anything cooler than James Brown.
Yeah.
Seriously, if y'all don't know, you need to find out. So let's go into the 3 Times Crazy song. Do you have anything you want to say about it before we play it?
Which one?
Keep it on the real.
Keep it on the real. I mean, that was a remake too from I don't know if you ever heard of the group Loose Ends, but
It was like an R&B group.
yeah.
Back
But
in the old days.
the producer for that group actually made that song that we remade.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, let's play it just to give everybody a flashback, and then we're going to come back in and talk to Scott. It takes me back. It transports me back to going to Berkeley and shopping at Rasputin's when we actually had to purchase
Records.
tapes.
Or CDs, yeah.
CDs. It went from tapes that you had to fucking basically take out a loan to get the equipment to break the shit that the tapes were in, because it came in this really long plastic container that was impossible to get the shit out of. And then I went to CDs. And now everybody says, why new generation asks us, older generation, why y'all so angry? Because we've had to switch how we get music like 9 times, you know? It was a Walkman, and then it went to a CD Walkman, and then we went to, we had vinyl, and now we have to stream some shit.
Yeah, well, you know, the beautiful thing about hip-hop to me, or one of the things, is that, you know, when I got signed to Warner Brothers, I did a tour of Warner Brothers because we knew one of the secretaries there, and she took us all around.
Okay.
When we went to the R&B section, it was in the basement.
Right. Why are y'all hiding the shit?
And the carpet was all fucked up.
That's not right.
Like, as soon as you passed into the R&B section,
it was all janky.
All janky.
Yeah. I kind of recall that for some reason.
And the cool thing is, you know, they had KSOL,
Yes.
KMEL,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Now, because of hip hop, everything is all blended together.
Yeah. There's no difference.
Right.
Yeah. Filmo Mike actually recorded a podcast here for quite a while. He's a good friend of mine. Shout out to Filmo Mike over at KMEL. Great guy. I want to make sure everybody is still tuning into him. He has a podcast called Wash Your Back. Have you washed your back?
Get me on,
today?
homie.
I got you on that. No problem. And he would be honored. So I do want to say shout out to Keek. You know, this is another legendary artist that kind of built the sound out here. You know, Keek is he's very talented. He is extremely artistic. Right, his creativity is insane with his words, and he's just fun. You know, Keek's a really nice guy.
And Sneak was the one that really put me on with Sebo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He came by one day. Was like, man, Sebo needs some beats, bro. And actually, Sebo called him up and he said, man, I'll bring you to my guy Drop's house.
Yeah.
And did a bunch of beats with him in one night, hella beats.
What's the most memorable studio session you ever had? Do you remember it, production-wise?
Production-wise?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could tell either story. Don't matter.
I mean, I'll tell you, my most memorable was when I recorded live on KSAN. I was 14 years old, and it was at the record plant in Sausalito.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, that was my most. Yeah, that was my first time in the studio.
Right.
And we played live.
And that was back when you played all the different instruments.
Yeah. I was playing steel drums.
Okay. One Drop Scott in the building, y'all. If you have any questions for him, make sure you hit me up, DM me. You can put them here in the live feed. So what would you say is the future for you? What are you working on? I know you talked about your artist. Well, is there anything else you want to promote? Do you have anything that you're...
I've been working with a lot of groups in Mexico City.
I have a connection down there, Billy Knight. But he's not in Mexico City. He is down in Mexico, and he's a DJ down there, and he does a lot of festivals down right past the border.
Okay.
So he brings a lot of California artists down into it's. I think where's he at? Tijuana? I can't remember where he is exactly, but he's very implemental in that scene down there. So I'd love to connect you with him, and then maybe
That would be great.
can...
Yeah, I worked with this group called Los Colitas. They won an Oscar for that Frida Kahlo movie.
Oh, I love Frida.
Yeah.
That whole story is just really touching.
Yeah.
But I think I know the story that you're talking about. Stressmatic tuned in on the live feed. One of the GOATs, Stress. I just want him to know that. He's from Federation, but, he has his own credits now. And I think he's just like an amazing artist, an amazing songwriter, an amazing hook guy, and he's cool. I love Stress. Stress used to just give me stickers and books and stuff like that because he knew how much I supported the culture.
Yeah.
And he was like, I know how much you support it, and you don't have to do that, and you do it anyway.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, thank you for recognizing that. So he's a super solid guy, and it's nice to have him as a friend. So Stress, here's your flowers. Yeah, here's your flowers. If anybody is interested in working with you, and we still have one more song to play, but if anybody is interested in working with you, are you attainable, and how do they get to you?
You can DM me at One Drop Scott Instagram or One Drop Scott Facebook, either way.
And then as far as are you taking on new clients, or is it something you're wanting to do?
I do, but I'm a lot like LaRussell in terms of he'll listen to like 50 beats and not pick one.
Right. Yeah, I get it.
So I'm the same way. I'm the same way with someone that
wants to work.
Yeah.
You get to pick.
I'm picky.
Yeah, you get to pick what you want, which is you have the right to do that. Look at your resume, for fuck's sake. God damn.
Well, thank you.
It's fucking taller than I am, and I'm like 6'1", I'm really not. I'm 5'11". Don't let anybody tell you. The doctor was like, you are not 6'1", but I feel like I'm 8'1".
Good. That's how you should feel.
That part, exactly. So it's really just like a blessing to have you in here, and we could probably talk all night. We have another artist here after your interview. It's Maney Mo from the Verbal Assassins, so he'll be in here next.
Okay.
And that's Gary's artist. That's who Gary sent up here to me.
Cool.
So it's just Peter's been on my line. Peter's been singing your praises for a long time.
All good. Well, thank you, brother.
And I knew who you are, and I know that I should have had you in a long time ago, but I appreciate you catching up, and things happen when they're supposed to.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you ever need us here, we're here. Like, this is what we do. And I am the Instagram queen. Like, I live there. So if you ever need anything, promotion, I am posting in my sleep.
Well,
literally.
I'm at you.
Literally.
I know one thing, I don't know how to repost anymore.
Oh, I got you. I can fix that.
What happened with that?
I downloaded a program called Repost, and it's like $2 a month. And what it does is help you repost shit, and then it's just like it's an application. So I'll show it to you before you get out of here.
Okay.
But we had the song we saved for last. Thank you, Dankhead. The song that we saved for last is the SIBO song, the Trey 5-7.
Oh yeah.
Because SIBO is. I was rolling around Reading when I was like 19 years old, and I was playing Bald Head Nut. They just said no, what to do with my ass. Right. I was like, Casket Drops, all that. It's legendary music. Mm-hmm. So do you want to talk about the song before we go into it, or you want to talk about it when you get out of it?
Well, the song is a great song because he's speaking in third person of the gun. Very,
people haven't, it's like that, you're right. He's a great storyteller to be able to take it out of context like that and be that person. The only other person I've heard speak like that about a gun is Chris Lockett. He has a song similar to that, so make sure you guys go check him out. So I think Trey 5-7 is a pretty self-explanatory song, but we're going to go ahead and let that rock, and then when we come back, we're going to talk to Scott, get some pictures, we're going to list your website out, tell everybody how to find you, and then we're going to start the next interview. But keep your ears to the speakers, you guys. Jay Deezy, you can run that SIBO in right now. Hey, that was that SIBO 357, definitely a legendary song. While I have it on my brain, too, I want to make sure and shout out two legendary Stockton producers. That's Unseen Asylum and Young Rick. They're also really dope producers out of the Stockton area. There's one in every city that is just on fire. Chris Cash, Jungle Life, and Vallejo. And this is One Drop Scott. And I saw in the credits of your production that Not My Job was yours. That's correct, right?
No, that's Tone Capone.
That was Tone. So Not My Job was like one of my very favorite songs. But
Genie of the Lamp.
Genie of the Lamp.
Yeah. Now there's two different versions of that song, but they have me as the producer on both.
Okay.
On the one.
Now talk about creativity, like that was like the epitome of creativity for rap was Dre and Genie and the Lamp. Like that's how I felt at least. Yeah. Who you said you wanted to shout out? Some people.
Okay, so in the early 2000s, I had a record that I did with Keek Sneak and my boy The General from West Oakland.
Okay.
He needs to be heard about because that man has so many lyrics that no one ever knew that he was behind that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So put him on to me, like we'll get him in here and tell his story. Absolutely. That's what we're here for. So cool. I'd love to highlight anything you're working on or doing, and I mean just for making the trip here today. Once you know me, you know like I got you. I got you. Whatever you need. If you need promotion, if you need a place to come be creative, any of that. But all I ask is when you get those studio sessions, I just want to come absorb some of that.
All good.
Some of that energy and
absolutely.
I bring fun shit. I bring some. I can't even talk about what I bring, but I bring some fun shit to the studio.
You're a fun person.
Thank you. I try, and this music is what fuels me. I was married to a guy from Jamaica, Queens for 7 years, and he was Prodigy's cousin. So I was Mobb Deeped out for like 7 years.
Right.
And when we divorced, this was born. Because I needed my loonies back and my 40 water and my Keek the Sneak. So
I'm singing on that song. I actually produced with the loonies.
Really?
Yeah, with me and Tom Capone.
What about E40?
The only thing I did with him was they remake for It's Going Down Tonight.
Okay, that's not a small accomplishment.
Well, I mean,
it's a big one.
Richie Rich was on that too.
I love Rich. I actually was the person here in Sac that debuted Seasoned Veteran when it came out. He came to Sacktown Radio and sat down with me and did that interview. So I do have a Richie Rich interview.
Yeah, and I'm singing on My Baby Mama.
Oh, really?
That's me singing on
Oh,
that.
wow.
Yeah.
That's a great song. So I'll have to check all this out knowing this in hindsight that's you. So anything you want to tell the up-and-coming producers out there that may need advice or what's your words for these guys or girls?
Hey, please, some women get up into the game.
It might be me.
Well, I'll help you out any way you need
I might
help.
be needing to transition out of hosting. I'm getting older. I need to sit down and start hitting some keys or something.
Well, I can help you out with that.
And
but
I got the ear.
What I was going to say is that play something. Learn music. Learn how to play any instrument. I would say guitar first or piano. But learn music.
Yeah, that's fundamental.
Don't just grab a loop and think of it's your song.
Right.
Feel me?
Okay. And as far as when people are purchasing beats, I will give advice that everyone should go out and purchase a cultivated beat made for them. Don't do the YouTube shit. Everybody's on the same shit with that. Like, you guys got to get your own
what I would say to producers is find yourself an artist that you resonate with and work with that artist. Don't be sending out hella beats to hella people because you want to get on.
Right.
You can get on with your own artist.
Y'all need to focus and make that art together. Yeah, I think it's definitely a combo joint. Like, you need the right combination of people and talent.
Yeah.
So it's been a pleasure. I'm sure we could talk for hours, but we'll bring you back because I always have these episodes where I'm like, I need to bring him back just to ask these questions because I talked through the fucking first one. But shout out to JG Eargasm. He brought you here to us.
Shout out to JG for hooking it up.
And Peter's been, like I said, Peter is a huge fan. He's been following me around for many years now. He's been my photographer for probably 7-8 years. So we've got a documentary in the works about my story. So I would love to involve you in that. I feel like the culture needs to be respectful of the people who put it where it's at.
Yeah. In
the same token of being respectful of the people who have brought it to where it is at, like that are keeping it and maintaining it.
Well, Miles Davis said it best. He said, man, surround yourself with the youngsters. Mm-hmm. Don't ever leave them out.
because that's implemental. Yeah, absolutely.
That's the future, and you know.
Those are my words. Much love to you guys. One Drop, you got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
One love for having me, and whoever loves music, keep loving it. Keep doing your thing. And, hey.
Yes, MCYeee 360 Radio here. Much love, and I appreciate you shouting out the wife because more people need to do that. That's important.
Yeah, she helped me down. She still helps me down.
Yeah, and thank you for all that you've done for music in our, in this generation, as well as surviving what you went through, because that is not as easy as it sounds. So it takes an incredible strength to have to teach yourself how to do things again that were fundamentally learned as a kid.
Actually, I never needed to teach myself how to play again.
Right. Oh, that was there.
Just how to talk.
Right. Okay. So everything stayed. But we're lucky to have him. Up next, we got Maney Mo, Verbal Assassins. Much love, Gary Archer. Everybody who tuned in tonight.